So I think it's time for us to get started. Okay, so first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to attend this webinar for the Actuarial Science program at Hong Kong U. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Dr. Casey Chang from the Department of Statistics and Natural Science. So first of all, I would like to give you a very brief presentation about some reasons why you would like to choose our Actuarial Science program. So here I will give you 9 reasons, okay? So the first is actually we have a very excellent employment prospect. So actually, if you look at a recent report from the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, they mentioned that the actuarial profession is continuing, growing, and expanding. Actuaries are still in very short supply around the world. In fact, in Hong Kong, this shortage of actuaries is also reflected by the recent talent list of Hong Kong government. So actuaries is one of the 9 most wanted talents in Hong Kong. So as you can see, these 11 professions include actuaries, data scientists, and something else. And also in a recent interview with the ASHK, the Actuarial Society of Hong Kong, they also mentioned that in Hong Kong, we are in shortage of about 30 to 40% of professions. And it is very easy to find jobs, okay? Job prospect is very good. Second reason, okay, so we have virtually 100% of employment rate. So here I give you the employment situation in the past few years. As you can see in this table, basically all students graduated from our program could find a job, okay? So some of them, of course, went on to further studies, but virtually we have a 100% employment rate. So here is the more detailed analysis of the graduate in 2018. So you can see the mean salary is about $21,000, and about 50 of them got 1 job offer, 33% got 2 more offers, and 15% got 3 or more. And in 2019, the situation is similar. We have 92% employed. The mean salary is around $22,000. About half of them got 1 job offer, 40% got 2 job offers, and 15% got 3 more offers. And in this year, 2020, so the official data is not yet available. And here is the data collected by our department, which is not yet finalized. And you can see, despite the a COVID-19 situation, okay, although the employment situation, overall speaking, in Hong Kong is not very good, but still our graduates, most of them could got job offers. 90%, 95% of them are employed, 5% of them will go on for further study. And the mean salary is around $24,000. And around 50% of them got 1 offer, 20% of them got 2 offers, and 30% of them got 3 or more offers. Third reason, we have a very comprehensive curriculum. As you can see, our curriculum will cover over 90% of the associateship examination requirement of the Society of Actuaries. So we have courses designed specifically for each profession examinations. And we have a very flexible curriculum as well. So students can freely choose to take any major or minor study. So apart from the first major in Actuarial Science, they can also take a second major or a minor or even 2 minors. And here I list some of the most popular choices among our students, including, for example, computer science, finance, economics, quantitative finance, etc. Reason number 5, we are the only program in Hong Kong accredited by professional body. So actually, we have an arrangement with the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries in the UK. We are accredited, so if you take our courses, then by the time you graduate, you will automatically get credits for the first 6 examinations. Okay, so these are all the core principal subjects. And we are the first in Asia and the only one in Hong Kong currently accredited by the IFOA. And we are also one of the Center of Actuarial Excellence, which is recognized by the Society of Actuaries, which is the professional body in the US. So we get this title because of our excellent track record in teaching, research, and students' employment record. Reason number 6, we have a very comprehensive career advising program, including professional preparation program, including individual consultation on how to write a good cover letter, interview skills. We have a very well-developed corporate mentorship program. And then we have a lot of workshops, firm visits, alumni sharing, and career fair. So you will get this preparation right after you enter the university. So we will provide this kind of support right at the beginning when you are in year 1. Number 7, internship opportunity. So we have a very well-developed internship program, which will be available to all students starting from their year 3. And virtually, almost all of our students will participate in this internship program. From our latest record, we found that 94% of our students have participated in the internship program. So here I have also listed our partner companies. They include most big insurance companies in Hong Kong, some consulting firms, banks, and investment banks. Reason number 8, scholarships. Okay, so we provide plenty of scholarships to our students. The most notable one is the Dr. S.C. Patrick Poon Scholarship in Actuarial Science. So each year we will award 5 scholarships to first-year students admitted through JUPAS with the most outstanding entrance record. The scholarship amount is at either $50,000 or $60,000 per year, and it is renewable based on satisfactory performance in each year's study in the program. So that means if you perform well in the course, then you can get another $50,000 or $60,000 per year in the rest of your study. And then we also have China Life Insurance Scholarship in Actuarial Science. And then we also have a Hong Kong Federation of Insurance Scholarship, Sir Edward Johnston Prize, which is given from the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. Reason number 9, we have a very high international standing. Okay, so according to a very recent study from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, okay, so they call it the UNL Actuarial Science Program Top 50 Worldwide University Rankings. This ranking is based on research contributions from the top 4 actuarial journals. Hong Kong U were actually ranked number 1 in Asia and number 2 worldwide amongst all non-business schools actuarial science programs over the past 25 years. And for the most recent period from 2015 to 2019, we were ranked number 1 in Asia and number 2 worldwide among all non-business school actuarial science programs, and also number 1 in Asia and number 4 worldwide if business schools are also included. So you can see our program, okay, our teachers have very high international standing. So to sum up, so here I would like to remind you again some of the reasons why you would like to choose our program. So first of all, our department provides a very good environment to you. So we have plenty of scholarships. So you will be taught by very well-known professors. Our curriculum is very comprehensive yet flexible. Moreover, we are accredited by the IFOA. In terms of career support, we have a very well-developed career advising program and also internship program. And we have a very excellent outlook and expanding fast profession. So virtually all of the students were employed in the past. So this is all I want to share in this very short presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, I think you can ask in both English and Cantonese if you wish. So I would like to stop here and welcome students to ask any questions. So are there any questions you would like to know more about our program? So a student asks, what is the minimum score admitted by JUPAS in 2020? I don't have the number on hand. Okay, so while for M1 and M2, is this a must for enrolling into this program? Yes, you must take M1 or M2. Okay, so this is one of the entrance requirement. So for the Dr. Patrick Poon Scholarship, okay, so you will be nominated by the department based on your entrance result. So that means based on your DSE result. While for other scholarships, some of them you have to apply it yourself, while some of them you will be nominated automatically by the department. A student asks whether it is necessary to put our program as Band A first by mid of December. I don't think so, but of course you need to put our program in Band A after your arrangement of your program choice. Another student asked whether it is compulsory to have M1 or M2 at level 5. I think no. Our minimum requirement is level 4 for M1 and M2. But of course, because M1 and M2 is double counted according to our admission formula, so if you can get a better grade in M1 or M2, that will give you a better chance. Okay, so another student asked whether interview will be arranged. Okay, I think so. We will arrange interview in May, I guess, although the exact schedule is not yet finalized. But in the past 2 years, we held interview in May before the release of DSE result. Minimum entrance requirements apart from M1, M2, I think you need to have level 3 in Chinese and English, and then level 4 in math and M1, M2. And then another student asked whether M1, 2 and core math will be counted as one single subject or would they be treated separately? We will separate the two. So M1 or M2 will be treated as one subject, and then core math is treated as another subject. Okay, so that we will treat them as two different subjects. Okay, so, and then another student asked, okay, would there be any job posts in government? So it seems most jobs are in securities and financial institutes. Yes, occasionally some government departments also want to hire actuaries, although it is not very common. Okay, most of our graduates will go to the finance or insurance sector. Okay, so they will work in bank or insurance companies. But sometimes some government departments, okay, would also like to hire actuaries. And then another student asked about the interview. Whether students putting our program in Band A will be invited for interview. Yes, we will invite most applicants from Band A for an interview in May next year. And other student asked the interview, okay, whether it will be conducted online. Okay, so I don't know yet. Okay, we don't know how the COVID-19 situation will be next year. So I don't have an answer for you. Okay, so a student asked, what is the formula when calculating the score? Actually, we have already uploaded the admission formula on the PowerPoint online, okay? But let me remind you again, okay? So the formula basically look at your results in 6 subjects, okay? So Chinese, English, mathematics, M1, 2, and then best two, sorry, I should put it this way, okay? So we look at best 6 subjects. And inside these best 6 subjects, it must include English, mathematics, and M12. And we will double count English, mathematics, and M12. Okay, so this is the formula. So we look at best 6, but among these 6 subjects, it must include English, mathematics, and M12. And these 3 subjects will be double counted. A student asks, what is the minimum score for IB students? Okay, so we don't set a minimum scores, the so-called minimum score, but in the past, we admit students from IB with a score at around 40. Okay, so I think 40 would be a reasonable score for IB. And we don't have any specific quota for non-JUPAS students. So as long as students are good, then we would like to admit them. Yes, the students admitted in the last. So some students ask about the number of students we admit in the past. I think through JUPAS, we admit around close to 60. Okay, so I think the JUPAS quota is 61 right now. Okay, so we admit around 60 students from local, and then we have around 10 to 15 from mainland China, and then we have some international students. So altogether, each year we have around 80 to 85 students in the past few years. And then another student asked, would it be hard to catch up if I didn't study economics for my elective? You don't need to study economics for your DSE, okay? So although in our curriculum, students will study 2 economics in the first year, okay? But these 2 economic courses do not require any knowledge before, okay? So they will teach you everything from scratch, okay? So you don't need to have prior knowledge in economics in order to take the courses. A student asked whether the interview is based on the school's predicted grades. I think in some sense, yes, because each year we have quite a number of students putting our program in Band A. So due to limited resources, we could not really interview all of them or invite all of you to come for an interview. So we will select students for interview based on school's predicted grades. And then about the format of the interview, okay? So in the past, we held group interviews, okay? So basically, each group will have around 4 to 5 students, and then we will give them a topic to discuss. Okay, so another student asked, okay, so any further studies or examination do I need to take after the completion of this degree? Okay, yes. If you want to be a professional actuary, you need to pass a lot of professional examinations. During your university study, okay, you will pass probably the first 5 to 6. And then there will be another around 5 to 6 courses for you to complete. So normally, students after graduation will spend another 3 to 4 years to complete everything. A student asked whether we will invite candidates putting our program in Band B to the interview. No, I don't think so. Okay, so we will only consider Band A students for the interview. Okay, so a student asked, can you briefly introduce what actuarial science is about? Okay, so of course, for details, you can go back to the webpage of our department or the Faculty of Science. You can have a look at the admission talk, okay? So, but very briefly, actuarial science is about using techniques in statistics, economics, and finance to help companies, okay, might it be insurance companies or banks to manage the risk? Okay, so this is a very brief answer. So for example, in insurance companies, okay, so actuaries will help the company to design insurance product, okay, price insurance product. So what is the premium? And after selling a product, a policy to a policyholder, actuaries will also help the company to manage the risk. And then a student asks, what does a minor of actuarial science look like? So if you are not in actuarial science, but in BSc, then you have a choice to study actuarial science as a minor, okay? So of course, if you're doing a minor in actuarial science, the course requirement is lower. So you don't need to take all the courses. You only need to take around 6 to 7 courses, okay? And that forms a very, very basic fundamental for your further study, okay? A student asks whether actuarial science will be replaced by AI. I really don't think so, okay? So although all the calculation nowadays has to be done by computer, but still actuarial science relies, or company relies on professional judgment from actuaries, okay? And this cannot be replaced by AI. GCE A student asks GCE AS, okay? I'm not sure whether GCE A level or GCE AS level. If I remember correctly, for GCE A level, for example, we don't consider Chinese. We do not consider Chinese for GCE A level. Minimum requirement, we don't really set any minimum requirement, but in the past, for students coming from GCE A level, we expect them to have either 3 A star or at least 2 A star 1 A. Exchange opportunities. Yes, I think it is arranged by Hong Kong U. So Hong Kong U has the so-called Hong Kong U Worldwide Exchange Program. So all students can apply, and you can have a chance to study abroad for 1 semester. It could be in year 2, year 3, or even in final year. You need not defer your study, okay, even if you have exchange, okay, because during your exchange study, you can take courses which are similar to your courses in Hong Kong U, and then you can transfer the credits back to Hong Kong U. Okay, so that means even if you take on an exchange, you don't need to really defer your study for another semester. A student asks, what is the difference between studying mathematics and actuarial science? Okay, so of course, actuarial science also involves quite a lot of mathematics, but I would say actuarial science is more about statistics, okay? And it is not on pure mathematics, okay? In mathematics, you know, probably you learn geometry, number theory, some very abstract stuff, okay? But in actuarial science, we are not. We apply statistic techniques to solve real-life problems arising from, say, finance and insurance. Okay, so that's why not all our courses are about math. Okay, so we also have courses on economics, finance, and even computer science. So actuarial science is quite different from mathematics. We do not have any interview after the release of DSE results. So some students ask whether we still have interviews after the DSE results is released. No, we have the interview before DSE results. For GCE A level, yes, I think you must have further maths. Okay, so if you are doing GCE A level, further math is compulsory. A student asks whether which pathway, the IFOA or the SOA, is more popular among our students. Okay, so I think both are popular. Okay, so although most students would like to take the so-called SOA examination. So SOA is the professional bodies in the US, but because we are also accredited by the IFOA, so some students, they would like to follow IFOA. So if you want to follow the IFOA path, you don't need to take any professional examinations during your university study. Okay, so all you need to do is to perform well in your Hong Kong U courses, and then when you graduate, IFOA will give you the credits automatically. A student asked, what is the ratio of graduates employed in Hong Kong to that overseas? We don't have this breakdown. Okay, our survey did not really look at this, whether students were employed in Hong Kong or overseas. Okay, but as you know, some students in our program were coming from mainland China or from other countries. So after graduation, some of them will go back to their original countries. Okay, so they will not be finding jobs in Hong Kong. Some students asked about the employment rate. Okay, so as I have shown you at the very beginning of this webinar, so basically, if you consider further studies included as employment, okay, then the employment rate is 100%. Okay, so we have 100% of employment rate in all years before. For non-JUPAS, a student asks, okay, whether he or she needs to put our program in the first choice to have an interview. Preferably, yes. Okay, so if you put our program as your first choice in your non-JUPAS application, then your file will be will come to us immediately. Okay, so if you put our program in the second choice or even in the third choice, then we can only receive your file much later. Okay, so if you put our program as your first choice, then we can read your application much earlier. Okay, so a student asked, what is the difference between actuarial science and quantitative finance? I think they are similar, but they have different focus. Actuarial science is more about managing risk in insurance. Okay, so we are professional actuaries, okay, and we help insurance companies to manage the risk. While quantitative finance is about, say, trading, okay, so pricing of some financial products for banks. Okay, so they have some overlap. We have overlap skill set, but we have a different domain or different context of applying our skills. Okay, actuaries will apply their skills mainly in insurance companies and occasionally in banks, while students or graduates from quantitative finance, they will mainly work in the finance industry. Another main difference is that actuaries are professionals, so you need to pass professional examinations in order to be a qualified actuaries. While for quantitative finance, as far as I know, you just no need for you to take any particular examinations in order to work in the field. Some student ask, after DSE results, okay, so I suppose your question is, before the release of DSE results, you didn't put us as a Band A subject, and then afterwards, you put us in Band A, okay? So would there be any adverse effect for that? I don't think so, okay? So although you missed the interview, okay, but I don't think that will really affect much. A student asked whether it is necessary and popular for students to take the master in statistics if they want to become an actuary. No, if you want to become an actuary, okay, it is more important to pass professional examinations rather than taking a master degree in another subject, for example, master in statistics, okay? So normally students, if they want to be an actuary, so what they would do is like this, so they take our courses, and then in their year 3, they will participate in the internship program. They will work in the company for 6 months full-time to gain hand-on experience. And then after they graduate, they will find a job in the industry, and then they will continue taking the professional examinations. And hopefully in about 3 to 4 years, they can finish everything. They become a fully qualified actuary, and then they can continue their career. Okay, so there's no need for students to take on any master or higher degree. Yes, English, mathematics, M1-2. So some students ask about the admission formula again. Yes, English, mathematics, M1 and M2 are the only 3 subjects that are double counted. Okay, and then we will look at another best 3 subjects. So altogether 6 subjects in the formula. Okay, so so are there any questions? Okay, did I miss any questions from any of you? Okay, so because there are many questions, okay, so there's a chance that I might miss your questions. Let me see. Okay, so a student asked, can I take quantitative finance as second major? Yes, I think so, but there's a requirement from the quantitative finance program. Okay, so theoretically, yes, okay, we do have students doing double major. Okay, first major in actuarial science, second major in quantitative finance. However, okay, the quantitative finance program will have a requirement on your first year results. Okay, so if you want to really double major quantitative finance, you must perform well in your first year. Okay, otherwise they do not allow you to take their courses. A student asks, okay, what are the interview topics about? Okay, I think the discussion topic will be rather general. Okay, and I really have no idea at the moment. Okay, but don't worry, it is not technical. Okay, so we will not ask you to discuss technical stuff. Okay, so the discussion topic will be rather general. Okay, so a student asks, okay, how many marks do I need to get in DSE if I want to get the Dr. Patrick S. Sipun Scholarship in Actuarial Science? I don't have a standard for you. Okay, so each year the department will nominate the best 6 to 7 students to the donor. And then there will be an interview, and then ultimately we will select 5 out of 7. Okay, so basically we look at your DSE results. If you are in the top 7, then you will be nominated. And then Dr. Patrick Poon will interview you in person, okay, together with the department head and some other professors. And then out of the 7 interviewees, we will select 5. Some students ask about the interview, whether there will be interview after the release of DSE result. No, in the past 2 years, we did not have any interview after the release of DSE results. And even if you cannot attend the interview or you are not invited to the interview, I don't think that will really affect your chance of being admitted. So don't worry too much about that. A student asks, okay, how is M1 or core math probability related to actuarial science? Yes, of course, they are related because, as I have mentioned, actuarial science is about statistics. We apply statistical technique to solve real-life problems. Okay, so the statistics knowledge you learn in either core mathematics or M1 will be relevant, of course. Okay, but it is really not necessary to have any prior knowledge in statistics. Actually, in your first year, we will have courses in statistics, which will teach you everything from scratch. Okay, so we do not assume any prior knowledge in statistics or probability. So we will teach you everything from the beginning. A student asked about the entrance requirement. Math and M1, okay, so for math and M1, so math and M1 too, I think we require a level 4. Okay, we require level 4 for mathematics and M1 or M2. While for English and Chinese, we require a level 3. Okay, level 3 for English and Chinese. Level 4 for mathematics and M1 too. Okay, so are there any other questions? So my apology if I missed your question. So if you do have any other questions or I miss your questions, please type again, okay? Okay, are there any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, so maybe this one. Okay, so a student asks, okay, whether a student taking 8 DSE subjects, okay, with all science subjects, and M2 will have a bit more advantage when basic subjects are on par. Yes, so we will admit students according to the admission formula. So there's a chance that students might have the same score, okay, for borderline case. Okay, so if several students, they have the same admission score and they are all on the borderline, okay, the cutoff point, then we will also look at the subjects they are taking, okay. So in some sense, yes, okay, but I don't think that will really affect much. Okay, so a student asked, do we admit transfer? Admit students to year 2 who is studying math year 1 or at other university? Yes, we consider students who are currently studying at another university or even within Hong Kong U, but studying another subject. Okay, so if you want to apply for transfer, of course, we will look at your results. And if your results are good, we would also like to interview you and see the reasons behind why you would like to transfer to our program. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so a student asks, okay, is the interview in English or Cantonese? In English. Okay, so we will conduct the interview in English. And then another student asks, okay, may I know how is it like for being a professional actuary? Well, it's difficult for me to describe here, but I think you should keep in mind that a professional actuary is not equal to a mathematician. Okay, so you're not a mathematician. You're a professional actuary, and most often, okay, you will be working in an insurance companies. Okay, and insurance companies actually, the actuarial team actually has many teams. Okay, actually there are many actuarial teams in the company. Okay, so different teams will be responsible for different duties. And many senior positions in insurance companies are all professional actuaries. Okay, so maybe at the beginning, you start your career as an actuary, but later on you might be promoted to senior levels. And then you might become, for example, CFO. Okay, you might become a COO, etc. Okay, so it's really hard to describe the work of a professional actuary. Okay, but essentially you can think in this way. A professional actuary is helping the company to make business decisions on how to better manage the risk. A student asked, okay, are the OEA, SLP, and OLE important? Sorry, I don't quite understand the terms OEA, SLP, and OLE. Okay, I don't know what they are, sorry. I think another student asked about SAT. Okay, so for SAT 2 Math Level 2, be a substitute for A-Level Further Math, I don't have an answer for you now. Okay, so if you have a very specific question about the entrance requirement for non-JUPAS, okay, so international students, okay, I would suggest you to write us an email, okay, so that we can have a closer look and then give you a better answer. Okay, so I don't have an answer for you. Okay, so two more questions here. Okay, so a student asks, can students minor in other disciplines like law or accounting? Yes, as I mentioned in the presentation earlier. Okay, so our students have the freedom to take a second major or a minor. Okay, so they can choose most subjects in Hong Kong U as their second major or minor. However, some are not possible. For example, law. Okay, as far as I know, there's no such thing as minor in law. Okay, so the law school does not offer the subject as a minor to other students. While for accounting, yes, okay, definitely yes. You can even double major in accounting. Okay, so most subjects, okay, will be available for you to study as a second major or minor, but not all. Okay, for example, law, medicine, for example, okay, definitely you're not allowed to take medicine as a minor or a second major. A student asks, what is the medium of the admission score? I don't have the numbers here, okay? I think Hong Kong U has already uploaded the summary admission score on their webpage, okay? So for each program, you can look at the median, upper quartile, and lower quartile of the score, okay? But when you read the numbers, be careful because they are the medium, upper quartile, lower quartile for the basics, okay, under the basics. However, our admission formula is not really a traditional basics, okay, because although we take on 6 subjects in the admission formula, however, mathematics, M12, and English are double counted. So our admission formula is different from a standard basics formula, okay? But nevertheless, if you can go to the Hong Kong U webpage and find out those summary statistics about the admission score for all programs in Hong Kong U webpage. Okay, so if there's no more question, then I think this is it for today. Okay, so if you have any further questions that you might have later on, so feel free to write us emails, okay, so or even call us, okay, so you can find out our contact easily on the webpage. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this webinar, okay, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.